The source comes from the Cherokee Nation Supreme Court records. There, in 1833, a lady named Molly Hightower claimed that a woman named Chickaw, who is the primary person mentioned in the document, that Chickaw and her sons belonged to Molly Hightower. And this claim was based on a transaction between another man named Sam Dent to Molly Hightower's father. Sam Dent had been married to a Cherokee wife sometime prior to the Revolutionary War, and he actually beat and killed his Cherokee wife. According to the Cherokee Law of Blood, the Deer Clan sought revenge on Sam Dent for the death of their family member because his wife had been a Deer Clan member. And instead of subjecting himself to Deer Clan punishment, he purchased a slave named Molly, who then became Chickaw, our main character in this document, to replace his dead wife. So he gifted the Deer Clan with the slave that he had purchased as a way of meeting his obligation for killing his wife. The Deer Clan adopted the slave named Molly, gave her the name Chickaw, and as the document says, she has by herself and descendants been ever since recognized by said nation, the Cherokee Nation, or clan, the Deer Clan, as a Cherokee. That's what allowed her sons to then also be members of the Deer Clan and full-fledged members of the Cherokee Nation. So then later on in 1833, Molly Hightower comes into the picture and says that Sam Dent sold Chickaw to her father, and that she actually owns Chickaw and Chickaw's descendants, Chickaw's sons. As the document says, her father was also an Indian trader who lived many years near the descendants of Chickaw, and who never advanced or set up any claim to Chickaw and her son Chenestity, who's also called Isaac Tucker in the document. And this document's interesting because it has a number of different names. You have English names, you have Cherokee names, you have a variety of different identities that are represented in the one document, in addition to this interesting transaction over slave property. The Deer Clan objected to Molly Hightower's claim and decided to petition the Cherokee Supreme Court to prevent the return of Chickaw and her son Chenestity to slavery. And the Deer Clan petitions them to resist this oppression and illegal wrong attempted to be practiced on our brother and sister by the Hightower, Molly Hightower, in carrying into slavery, two of whom have ever been and considered native Cherokee. So what that particular statement represents is an affirmation by the Deer Clan that Molly is their kin, that Chickaw, Molly/Chickaw, is their kin and belongs to them. It's really an affirmation of the adoption process and how seriously the Cherokees took their law of blood to bring in someone who had been an outsider to their community and adopting them, making them full-fledged family members, and not wanting them to return to the condition of slavery. Ultimately, the document indicates that the Supreme Court sided with the Deer Clan, saying that since Chickaw's adoption, she has, quote, continued in the nation and enjoyed the liberty of freedom, and that her two sons, Edward and Isaac Tucker, were born at the beloved town called Ochota on the Tennessee River. That was one of the main towns of the Cherokee Nation, what they called their beloved town, and has ever been free and resided in the nation.